Hi, I'm Connor Tracy. I'm with Big Red SEO, and one of the things that we get asked a lot is, how do I become a web designer? There's school, there's class, there's all the different things out there. I didn't go that direction. I learned on my own. I didn't have Google to go to, and that now today is my main resource. One of the things that we have to do as a web design company is the research. So doing research, figuring out what websites actually look right, why they look the way they do, how the actual website flows, all that's important. There's articles, there's blogs, there's hundreds of white papers, thousands of white papers that you can read through. So reading and doing some research, it's going to save you in the long run. The next step would really be learning the process. Learning how to do web design is a lot easier today than it used to be. There's a handful of people that had some information on here's how to write some basic code, and things evolved from there. Today, it's a lot easier to learn web design. You can go online, you can have a website built out, and then look at the structure of the code and figure out how everything lines up. So learning that process, learning some HTML is going to help you in the long run, no matter what software you use. So learn the structure, learn how to close it. Those are the things to do, okay? So research, learning, willingness to evolve is probably an item that is high on my list. What we do in our company, we're web design, we're SEO. We assist people with social media. We're not social media people. We work in AdWords, so learning how to run the different systems and what works in one, what works in another. Of course, that goes back to your research, but learning to evolve and learning to move along with things, those are imperative in this process. As a web design company, one of the biggest things that I would encourage you to do is to get organized. Get everything, whether it's on an Excel spreadsheet or whether it's on an online project management system. There's hundreds of them out there. I've used dozens over the years. I have my favorites, and I have some that are so complicated that I will probably never use again. Time is money, so make sure you're organized in what you're doing. If you're using Google Drive and Google Sheets, that's perfectly fine. Use an Excel sheet, no problem at all. Don't have sticky notes. Sticky notes all over the place generally is not an organization. Even a paper planner. If you go with a paper planner, it's an organization. Things are in one spot. Things get a little tricky when you have 3, 4, 5 projects that you're trying to juggle. So as a freelancer, probably not a problem. You're working on one project at a time. Once that's done, you move forward. But as somebody who works on multiple projects, you need a project management system, and a paper planner and sticky notes just don't work. So those are my tips, best practices when starting with web design or starting in a freelance company like that. So if you have any further questions, my name is Connor. I'm with Big Red SEO. We have lots of stuff on our blog at bigredseo.com. And of course, you can find us on Facebook, facebook.com/bigredseo. All right, have a great day. Thank you.